All right, we're live. Just gonna open up X and see if anyone hops on here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Anyone hopping in?
I don't. I'm getting on it right now.
Old man teaches young Neff how to vibe. I don't know why, but I think this is literally the funniest thing ever.
No, that's probably the best it could.
We've got 26 people so far, 27. What's up, design guy?
What's up? Oh my gosh.
Are you nervous?
No.
Yeah, young Neff.
Not as nervous as I was for my video.
Young Neff stays ready. Hey, Rosa.
Hi,
How's it
James.
going?
Hi.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, I needed an extra guest here today, so thanks for hopping on, Rosa. Needed some support if me and young Neff just totally get off track here.
Yeah, keep us in line.
Yeah, we're live on X right now. We've got a bunch of people joining. We've got 72 people right now, which is kind of fun. So, yeah, like the thought here is. Compared to Carson, like I'm an old man, I'm almost 40, which is crazy. Carson's half my age, basically 19. And we're going to teach him how to vibe today.
We're going to learn.
So I'm literally so just to make it clear to everyone, like a lot of times I have no clue what the hell I'm doing when I'm like vibe coding and stuff like that. I literally just like rely on AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So my goal for this is to just kind of show you like what these tools are all about, Carson. And we're going to try to vibe code up like a product on this call.
That's what I'll be sick.
All right. So I was doing some thinking, and have you ever heard of Fiverr, Carson?
Heard a little bit. I mean, not insane, but I do know what it is.
Yeah, Rosa, you've probably used Fiverr, right?
Yep.
All right. So I was thinking, what if there was like a Fiverr for like vibe coding and vibe marketing projects? And since Carson is in college, we can give it sort of like a student spin. So we're going to call it Vibeverr. So we're
very creative.
We're going to build Vibeverr today. What do you think?
All about the vibe.
All about the vibe. Yeah. So let me see how we're doing on X here. See if we need to pump this a little more. All right, we're at 143. Let's see if we can get up to like 200 viewers, and then I'll just start building. Or maybe once I just start building, we'll get more people in.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, cool. Well, where to start? This is like kind of one of the common things. People they hop into a vibe coding tool. I use a tool called Replit. All right. So basically Replit has this really smart kind of AI agent inside, and you tell it what you want and it goes and codes it up for you. So what I'm going to do is literally just open up Replit. I have not built anything around Vibeverr here at all yet. And we're just going to see what happens. And, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm just going to like maybe show you how I would approach this in a very simple, high level way. And who knows, maybe you get some takeaways, but like the main thing I want to do here is just kind of like, open your mind to like what's possible with this kind of stuff nowadays. And who knows, maybe you can go and start a little side hustle and make some money with it.
Make some money in Georgia.
There you go.
That's a great.
Cool.
Great idea.
Rosa, maybe this will be a good vibe coding intro for you as well.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to open up Replit, and I will share my screen here in just one moment. So yeah, cool. All right, sharing my screen. Present, share screen. All right, here we go. All right, this is Replit. Do you see it? Oh, add to stage. Cool.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, it's working.
All right, cool. So yeah, basically this kind of looks like a chat window, like you might see if you go to, ChatGPT or something like that. You've been using some ChatGPT, right, Carson?
Yeah, a lot. Using it a lot.
Cheating on your homework and your
All the
exams
time.
and things of that nature.
No way to stop it.
Did you send this link to your parents, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully they didn't hear that part that you're using ChatGPT in your exams. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm in Replit, and when you come into a tool like this, what I like to do is I like to actually open up like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. I use a tool called Manus a lot as well. To keep it simple today, we're going to open up ChatGPT side by side, and I'm going to show you how I kind of like go back and forth and stuff like that. All right. So let's go to ChatGPT. And up here, you can see that I've got O3 selected. Do you see that, young Neff?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. All right, so O3 is like a really smart model. It's a reasoning model. Basically, it can do a lot of cool stuff. It can go and browse things, and it's really smart, and it gives you solid answers, like more detailed and things than 4.0, which is probably what you're using most of the time.
That's what I would use. That's what I'm using. So that's what I was.
Cool.
I was looking at like O3.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write a prompt in here, and we're going to see what it spits out. So again, I have done zero prep work here. We've got a bunch of people watching, so I'm just going to vibe this, and we're going to see what happens. So let's see. I want to create a website called Vibeverr, which is a Fiverr knockoff. The goal of this site is to let students list AI-focused projects around vibe coding and vibe marketing so that they can sell their services in a simple, easy way and make some money while they learn. So I did cheat a little bit. I went to Claude. Did you see the podcast episode that I did with Greg at all, Carson? Did you get a chance to check that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you did your homework.
I watched a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch a little bit of it.
All right, well, go back and watch the whole thing. But we had this thing called keyword research on there. And keyword research is basically just going and finding out what people are searching for on Google. So, if you know people are looking for it, like it's usually maybe a good way to start to sort of like validate your idea. So there's already existing demand. So you don't have to worry about going and like trying to create new demand or find out if people actually want what you're trying to sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you search on Google all the time and this tells you, hey, yeah, people are searching for this. Here's how often people are searching for it every month. So I went and I typed into Claude, like, hey, find me some keywords and make sure that there's like volume around people looking for like student AI projects. And I was actually surprised because, there's some demand out there. Like students want to make some money with AI. And, I think companies would look for students to hire, give them a chance, and get some projects done. All right. So we know that there's some existing demand around this. We're trying to capitalize on a couple trends here as well. Vibe coding and vibe marketing. Something I learned from Greg is, find the trend and build around that as well. Make sense so far? So this might be how I would like try to come up with like a business idea. All right.
That's just sick.
Okay, so we're going to enter this prompt in here. Actually, I'm going to add a few more things. So I want to create a website called Vibeverr, which is a Fiverr knockoff. The goal of the site is to let students list AI-focused projects around vibe coding and vibe marketing so that they can sell their services in a simple and easy way and make some money while they learn. Appeal to the Gen Z crowd. I'm building this with my nephew, who is a college student, and he's 19 years old. This website has to be incredibly simple to use. No overloaded features. A few steps to get started. Another thing that I always instruct around when I'm prompting, this is called basically generating like a product roadmap. So I'm using O3 to give me a plan to go put into my coding tool. Okay. So a lot of people, when they make websites and stuff, it has like, website copy and stuff that doesn't actually convert. So I always instruct it to like do something called direct response. And you've been doing your homework by going to copywriting examples from Harry Potter, and you've been like handwriting those out. So we're going to just mix some of those principles into the roadmap that we're building. Make sense?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So it has to be easy to use, no overloaded features, a few steps to get started. Use direct response copy and CTAs that appeal to both ends of the marketplace. Companies who want to get quick jobs done and students who will fulfill. All right, so that's it. We're just going to put that in. I actually forgot something. I wanted to tell it to build out a little roadmap. So we're just going to wait a sec, and then we're going to add that back in so that it builds out like a specific roadmap to go and put into Replit. So just give it a sec here.
I think a big thing also with like making new like sites and stuff with like people my age is it has to be easy to like sign in or like to use like an email verification. It like has to be easy to like, I think if it's really hard to get into the account or make an account, people aren't going to use it.
Yeah. They want it to be quick. They want to sign in easily. They don't have to add a bunch of their information. And
like
stuff
a lot of people like just like use phone numbers now. They don't even use emails, just use phone numbers for verifications. I know like a lot of like my friends, they don't even use emails anymore. They just like put their phone number in everything.
Interesting. Maybe this could be like this could even be like a fully like kind of text-based product as well. Like you just get a text message when somebody wants to create something, you open it up. Yeah, just kind of looping into your existing like life.
Yeah,
like
because I really feel like it's like a lot of people like my age, they don't like signing in is like if it takes more than 5 or 10 minutes to create an account, they won't like use it. It's just there's so many things. They just won't use it. It's so weird.
Yep. And that's a common thing, right? Like a lot of times people build new products and they're expecting users and customers to like change their existing behavior, which that's a tough battle,
Yeah.
So the more you can integrate into people's existing workflows and however they're doing things today, reduces the friction. The more steps you have to take, the more friction you're putting in the process, and the lower like conversion rate or the number of people that visit the site that actually go and do the thing is going to be lower. So the more you reduce the friction, the more like conversions and customers and sales you can get. So good insight there, nephew. Okay, so I'm just going back to ChatGPT and I'm saying, hey, build a quick, simple PRD, which is like a product roadmap for me to copy and paste into Replit. Okay, and basically, like I just noticed that when I do this step, it's easier for Replit to kind of get context around what I want to build, and I just have more success when it comes to making this stuff. All right. Cool. So let's just copy and paste this and we'll see what happens. And again, this is not going to be perfect. I just want to show you my process and how I do this. Sometimes when I'm vibe coding something, I can get there like with a couple prompts and a couple back and forth chats with Replit. sometimes it takes longer. You have to like debug stuff. You have to go back to your chat tool, say, hey, I'm facing this error. Sometimes Replit can solve those. I'll give you a view of what happens. So we're just going to copy this, and then we're gonna paste it into here. And this is that product roadmap thing, right? And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to just take my initial prompt here as well. And I'm going to paste that into Replit too. Okay. You see this?
Yeah, that's insane.
So all we've done is we've gone to ChatGPT, and we've said, hey, give me a plan. And we've got a pretty good starting prompt here. It's not perfect. We just did this live, and we're just going to hit start building. Now I want you to watch what happens next, okay? So it's doing some work in the background. It's kind of analyzing my requirements, and it's sort of thinking about what it needs to do. So it's like, I'm going to analyze the project requirements and create a plan for building Vibeverr, which is just 10 out of 10 on the name.
Yeah, I mean, a genius had to think of that.
Yeah. So it's going to ask me some follow-up questions. Would you like any additional features? So let's keep it simple. I think a video intro on student profiles is a good idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
All right. And so when a company comes on, they have to build a job or build a brief in terms of what they want. I think if they could use AI to do that, that would reduce the friction that we were talking about. What do you think?
Yeah, I think yes, and it'll make it quicker.
All right, cool. All right. Let's see here. Sorry, I was just checking X. Okay. Here I am. Sorry, I got lost in my tabs. I usually have about 100 tabs open. So we'll do the AI assisted brief generator and the video. So I'm just going to approve the plan that it sent me. All right. And what it's doing now is it is starting to build, and it's starting to code.
That's two things, and you can.
So how typically if you'd want to build a website, you'd have to hire a developer. And I don't know if you've ever tried to code before, but I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. Well, I've tried. It's hard.
Cybersecurity, all the classes you can take for it in high school. So I know a little bit about it, but yeah, it's difficult. It's insane.
Yeah. So check this out.
This is amazing.
I know that. I mean,
what? This is crazy, right?
And it's
just like
I mean, exactly what you said too, where Gen Z talent meets business needs.
And the design's good. I think I think we need a more Gen Z vibey image there.
Yeah, I mean, that still looks like a
pretty good though, huh?
That's pretty good.
I mean, if you and your friends at school saw this and
I think this would be something great for my class, just a whole thing. Dude, this could change a lot of stuff for a lot of kids my age that are in college and it's a game changer. Actually,
I mean, think about it. You guys are basically digital natives. You're born and raised on apps and stuff like that, and y'all are using a lot of AI day to day, in the classroom, on your homework,
all the
whatever.
Time. Really is.
You already know kind of how to work with tools like this.
Yeah.
And if you walk down the street in your college town and you went and knocked on the door of 10 businesses and said, hey, are you guys using AI? They would probably 9 out of 10 would say, no, I have no idea what that means,
Yeah.
So there's opportunity is what I'm trying to say. You guys know how to use the tools. And then there's a lot of businesses out there that, would love to kind of leverage, a little bit of talent that knows how to work with it. And I think I don't know, maybe the Gen Z angle here is kind of an interesting spin. So let's take a deeper look at what we're creating here. Let me go back over to
Is it
Replit.
still like creating it?
So I think we're good at this stage right now. Oh, it's currently creating a fully interactive version, but let's see.
I was wondering if it's so.
Yeah, let's see if we can open this preview up here in a second. Yeah, just give it a moment. But we'll go ahead and scroll through here real quick. So connect with AI savvy students who deliver quick, affordable vibe coding and vibe marketing projects. I love this. This could be your first internet dollar type thing.
I think
that we set out in your goals. Okay, so I need a project done. I want to offer my skills. How Vibeverr works: connect, collaborate, and create in 3 simple steps. Post your gig. Fund the escrow, so that just lets people put money into the account, and then approve your project and release. Verify students. So, this is a good idea. So, again, hold on, it's sort of bugging out here a little bit. This is actually a good idea. Sign up with your .edu or student ID to get verified here, so it's like college student, right?
Yeah, you could sign up with your school email or something.
Yeah. So let's see if it. Okay, it's currently developing a full version. You can see it's still coding over here and doing stuff. So we have this base level sort of initial site, but we've got AI marketing specialists that came up with this. I create social campaigns using AI tools. This guy here builds websites. We've got a content creator, popular gigs. So write Instagram captions with AI, design a logo using AI tools, create a chat bot for customer service. So it's, again, I didn't put any of this into there. It's just creating these ideas on its own, the Replit agent, which is pretty wild.
It's
yeah, so
wrap my head around it.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, I mean, when it comes to starting a business or a project or something like that, there's no gatekeepers anymore. You can build whatever you want, which is just incredible. And so, yeah, I'm trying to show you that, and then I'm trying to show you when you have that ability and you combine it with what we call distribution. We put out a tweet and we've got almost 600 people on this. That's distribution, the power of distribution, So if you create a project, if you create a thing and you want to sell it, if you have that audience, you can do that. So look what's happened to your X account in 3 days. You have, how many followers do you have now? Over 600?
I'll check. Yeah, it was over 600. I'll check right now that I have it pulled up. 644.
Okay, you have 644 followers on X. Okay. You've sort of been building in public, talking about the goals you have. If you just said, hey, if you took inspiration from this and said, hey, I will create an ad with AI for you for $50, and you posted that, I bet someone out of those 600 people would hire you to do it.
Yeah.
And you could then go to an AI tool and you could probably, knowing what you know over the last couple days, reading Influence and going and copying those marketing examples that I told you about, you could use those skills already today, combined with AI, to make money.
And
you were doing some driving on DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
How many deliveries would it take you to make, say, $60? How long would that take?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours.
Now you're seeing the power of leverage. This is leverage, Does it make sense? You can create that ad, make $60, and maybe it takes you 20 minutes.
Yeah, a whole lot quicker.
So, yeah, it's quite a time to be alive. And just out of curiosity, are any students doing this type of stuff that you're aware of? Are they making money with AI anyway?
Not really that I'm aware of. I mean, I know some people that have, but no one like really. That's the thing is like no one like near or where I go really has got into like this deep into AI. Like I
Yeah.
know I have like some friends that like go to university, like a different college that are like they actually had a program start up last year, and so they went in with as their minor is AI.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, Zen. It's Friday. Get the Zens going. Zen and Celsius is like my fuel lately.
for the
But
weekend.
I mean, there's another like opportunity for you, and I guess this is another thing for you to be thinking about that I believe is very, very powerful is just having awareness. Like as you're kind of interacting with people on campus, when you go into a business, just having that kind of awareness, like, man, I've got some knowledge here that maybe a lot of people don't really have around me, like on campus or whatever, who would be interested in, learning how to leverage that or whatever. Like, dude, you could host like an AI meetup on campus and you could be the guy that helps students like learn the skills that they need to make some money with these types of tools.
And I think if people like actually like hear about it, like this stuff, like I think a lot of people will be interested. They just don't know like that AI can actually like do this. That's just why they're not really. And that's how I feel at least is they just don't know like the power it has, I guess, and
Right.
what it can
Right.
do. So
I think this today's lesson here that we're live streaming, I think that this is like this lesson alone is worth your entire internship for the summer. If you could just take away kind of what we're talking about here, and if you put it into action, like that's the biggest thing too. Like, most people, a lot of people, they know what they need to do, they know what to do, but they just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like you're a wrestler, like a college wrestler, right? Like, so you've gotten kind of past that, but I'm sure you've seen a lot of wrestlers that have like a lot of potential, but they just kind of like fall off, or they're not willing to like put in the time or the grind, or just like make something happen,
No, yeah, I feel like if I could just put, I mean, with what I'm doing this summer, I feel like this could definitely and just put it maybe towards like start doing a thing with like making an app. Like that could be my daily thing. With making an app, I would definitely feel like I could be successful.
And then think about this. Okay, like a number of years ago, I had a startup, and it was this app. Do you remember that app that I had, Carson, way back in the day called Leap?
Yes.
That was like probably when we first met.
Yeah, like at the beginning, very beginning.
Rosa, I've told you about that app, right? The social competition app.
Yep. Right. That's a long time ago.
Long time ago. Showing my old man teaches young Neff age here. But so I had this app, and two team members or whatever, my co-founders, and we were burning the midnight oil. We had no money. We were basically out of money. So I went out to San Francisco to try to raise funding from investors or whatever. Had these meetings. I had no clue what I was doing, and I completely failed and fell flat on my face. Had no money, no income, and I was like, shit, I have to go and get a job, and I didn't know like what I wanted to do or whatever, but I felt that I had some experience that could help me like stand out in the applicant pool for some pretty unique opportunities. So what I did, I built like a pitch deck, like a portfolio, like PowerPoint basically, of like all my experiences and the things that I built and the things that I thought made me unique. And I told a story with it. Now, if you look at like resumes, they're boring as hell,
Yeah.
Like a Word doc with like a bunch of bullet points and stuff like that. And, Rosa, you've reviewed a lot of resumes for boringmarketing.com agency, like at this point, right? And they all look the same pretty much.
Yeah. I just ask ChatGPT sometimes.
Yeah. Like, hey, look at all these for me and tell me which ones I should talk to. But I think that learning how to build with these tools at your current age, 19, just finished your freshman year. Imagine if you stay on the forefront and you're leveraging this type of stuff, the type of portfolio that you can build by the time you graduate.
Yeah, it will be amazing.
not only can you make like marketing assets with Vibe marketing, you can make apps, you can make websites. Like someone's going to see that, and you just have to show them what you've built, like, and you'll get a job on the spot. Like I really believe that, so just starting now and starting to flex that muscle and starting to build at your current age, like, man, like what an opportunity to kind of like figure out how to do this stuff now.
This could really set me up for life.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's actually still coding here. It's creating like an entire onboarding flow, login system. It's doing all of that. It's creating a database so that, when someone signs in, it's got all the users stored, the jobs stored, all that stuff. So it's basically creating like a total complete app for us right now. I'm still waiting for it to let me know when I can open up like a full preview link. So we'll just sort of keep riffing until that's ready. And then we'll actually go through it a little bit. I want to see if there's any bugs. I want to see if there's anything that, we would have to address. And I can show you like how I do that. But look, like basically it can get pretty far with one prompt and one roadmap, like it did all this, but if you want to change things, it's just like chatting back and forth. So a lot of people, when they're like vibe coding, it's just like, hey, fix this, make this better, make it faster, make it better. Like that's it. You're just kind of like testing it out as you build, and you're going and prompting the agent, and you're just kind of going back and forth like you're working with someone. That's it.
So I'm just wondering, do you have to like, is there a plus or something you have to buy on this Replit to create an app? I'm guessing there probably is. Like, is there
like an account that I have to have here?
Well, you have to like. I'm guessing you have to like pay like a membership, don't you?
So it costs. I think I have like a $20 a month Replit subscription. But that said, the more you prompt and work with agent, it takes up tokens. So it uses basically it uses the AI models, and it'll charge you extra for that. So you actually save money the fewer prompts that you need. So that's also a good reason to go into ChatGPT and get that initial roadmap to sort of try to bypass some of that initial like startup questioning and back and forth.
All right.
I think with practice, you'll learn like how to optimize it, each prompt.
Yep, absolutely. And it's just one of those. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you use these tools, the more you chat, the better your prompts get. You start to notice patterns. Things where an agent might get hung up or whatever, and you can sort of include things in your prompt. Like something that often happens, and it's actually happening right now, I think, is that these tools have a tendency to kind of like overcomplicate or overbuild things. Like this already has too much functionality for what I would consider like an MVP, or a minimum viable product, which is the very most basic thing that you want to create to go and see if this is like a viable opportunity. Like we're not trying to one shot and create like a crazy app. When we are like vibe coding like this, like the way I use it is I'm just trying to get it to a certain point where I could go see if people will pay money, or I can use it in my marketing and it actually works.
This is amazing. This is amazing. But like really, it's not put out there to the AI. Like before, like I would say April or May, like I didn't know AI could do any of this stuff until like I really started looking into it. And that's really what I think that people, if like I could just get people to look into it, I feel like you could get a lot of people into it. It's just
what the crazy thing is too about this is like the things that the tech world or the startup world or whatever you want to call it takes for granted every day. Like being able to just whip up like an app or a website or a marketing asset, whatever it is, in minutes. Most people have no clue still,
Look, the app's complete.
Yep. So here in a sec, we'll be able to preview it. We'll be able to click around. We'll be able to check out all the features. So we'll just give it another second here, and we'll open it up when it's ready. All right. We've got an issue with setting up our database, it looks like, which is fine. We don't really need to debug that for this example, but let's see what happens. I just want you to see how smart these like agents are, and they can identify, issues, and they can go and start solving them on their own, which is pretty wild.
Yeah,
So if you saw this site and it was like create an AI side hustle for college students or something, would you go and sign up and check it out and find some gigs?
Like, say I'm like scrolling on Instagram at night and I see like an ad like that you see on Instagram regularly, and I saw that because I see like just random ads, and it's like how to make X amount of money on TikTok, and I'm interested in that. If I could see an ad that was like for college kids, side hustle, make an app in 30 minutes, I would 100% click on it.
Yeah. There's another person that I'll recommend you check out. This guy, Billy Howell. A lot of people watching have probably seen him out there. He's done some really good videos, but he's got an approach where he'll go onto Upwork, which is another thing like Fiverr, where companies go and they're like, I need someone to make me a website or whatever. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, on this, but I think what Billy talks about is he'll go on there with already like a prototype that he built using Replit, and he'll be like, hey, here's a video of what it looks like. Like, you don't have to deal with a long timeline or any back and forth. Like, it's going to cost you $1,000. And boom, makes the payment, couple tweaks, and he passes this project off to the client. And there's a lot of people that are following that strategy, making some good money doing it as well. So like, I think that, again, the opportunity is like finding where that demand already is that you can kind of like plug into. So Upwork, a lot of demand. We use it for, various things as well, Rosa. And if you can just kind of plug in there and identify your niche and the types of things you can do, like, people are willing to pay for this kind of thing.
I think one of the great things for students as well is that, a lot of them struggle with, oh, I don't have the experience. I don't have, this job post requires senior or a lot of experience. Well, these job posts like this is perfect for that, for them to build up their portfolio.
Exactly. Like, yeah, there's no excuse not to have a great portfolio, like, as a student now.
Yeah.
So it's like we're building your audience portfolio. We're getting you to get comfortable sharing in public. You're on video right now with like almost 800 people.
Yeah, I really feel like it's going a whole lot better in my video on the first day. So.
Hey, that did pretty well. You're learning how to build things. You're learning how to build like a public presence and a public portfolio. You're learning where the demand's at in a market, where you can leverage these tools and these skills to go in and make some money. And like, what an opportunity. Like, who knows? You could probably, by the end of the summer, you could probably hold meetups on campus and do some paid workshops or something like that and teach other students how to do this kind of thing.
Anything.
I
think I plan on doing it through the school year too. Yeah. Plan on keep posting it because I think it would be cool to maybe do something with my work and like the work I'm doing in the class and how I would do it in the business side.
Yeah. So you'll learn more about business doing this type of stuff than you would in a 2-year MBA program. That may be a hot take, but I firmly believe that. Let's see. I'm just telling it kind of got in this loop where it's like trying to fix issues that may not that we don't really need to fix for this example purpose. So I paused the agent and I said, hey, let's skip this and push something to the preview. So I just want to see it and click around a little bit.
This is really cool.
So yeah, you can see like when I'm chatting with the agent, like I don't have complicated like, you know, instructions or whatever. Like it's doing the heavy lifting, and you know, you're like a I don't know, a conductor or an orchestrator or, you know, something, or a coach, you know? Like, and that's the value of a lot of these tools. And what I talk about with Vibe marketing a lot is that once you figure out how to get the leverage where you have AI doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, your role changes a little bit, you know? You're kind of like passing instructions, you're trying to find examples of what you're trying to achieve, you're passing that into whatever model you're using, and you're understanding how to ask the right questions. I think that's such a valuable skill. Like, you know, even when people think about prompting, I think people overcomplicate, like, ooh, I have to have a great prompt to work with this tool. Yes, prompting is important. However, if you just say, hey, help me create a really good prompt, or how can I write a great prompt to achieve this output, just knowing how to ask the right questions and give these tools like examples of what you're trying to achieve is really all you need to know to be efficient and effective right now. All right. It's still trying to solve some issues. However, I think you get the point on vibe coding this. So let's say that we have this marketplace up. How would we want to go and, like, you know, get some customers or something like that? There's a few ways. So number one, if you remember, we looked at what people are already searching for, you know? So people are already looking for like AI projects, even with like a student angle to it. So, you know, if you put this website up, maybe you take it into Manus or ChatGPT and you say, hey, here are the keywords that people are searching for. How can I optimize this site to go and show up and on Google or whatever when people are searching for this type of stuff? Implement that very basic roadmap. It's not going to be like SEO professional stuff, but it's going to get you like, I don't know, maybe 60, 70, 80% of the way there. Maybe you'll start to get some people coming in. You've already, you know, started to learn about growing an audience. So maybe it's like, hey, I'm on Vibeverr, come and hire me. Here's the types of jobs I'm doing. You're sharing some video examples, you know, things like that. And then you're also looking at maybe some of these other marketplaces that, you know, people are already going on to and hiring for these types of roles. And you're just trying to like insert yourself into where business is already happening with a unique approach or a unique angle. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I like.
All right. So preview available soon. Come on, agent, get this live for us. How we doing viewer wise here?
I haven't checked. My 850.
I got to say, you know, you're pretty cool and calm for never having like done anything like this before. I'm impressed.
Calm and collective.
Yeah, that's the way to be. You must have learned that on the wrestling mat. Like somebody's trying to pin you, and you just learn how to stay calm and cool.
State finals.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if anyone has any questions like that's watching.
Also wondering about that.
Yeah, because this is still looping into.
Yeah, we got time.
A few errors and stuff like that. So I think if people are watching, if they just reply to the tweet where we shared this, then it'll show up in StreamYard and we could put it on the screen. Kind of like this. Colin. So I live in Charlotte. Colin also lives in Charlotte, which is really cool. I've noticed that there's a lot of people like, I don't know, from the Southeast and stuff that are like in the community and interacting on X. I would love to host like some kind of vibe, like a marketing conference or something like that. I wonder if anyone would come.
That would definitely be cool.
So yeah, Colin said the Vibe marketing community is going to train you to become a lethal marketing weapon by the time you hit the job market. I love that.
That's the plan.
Well said. Well said. All right, cool. So preview's ready. When it's ready, you can open it up in a new tab. You can click around. I think this is a great V1. I think we could like make this image a little more Gen Z like. So I did this is kind of a hack that I learned from Manny on this Replit workshop that we did. He told me about this feature called Select. And I feel like an idiot that I didn't even know about it. Like what I would do to fix certain things is I would take like a screenshot like this. And then I would copy and paste the screenshot into the chat box. And I think a lot of people actually do that. But you don't actually have to do that. There's this little thing here called Select that helps you select elements. Maybe I'm showing my noobness as a Vibe market or Vibe coder, I should say. But if you click Select, you can go over here and select this image. All right. And I'm going to say, make this image more Gen Z like. So anything that you want to change or adjust, you want a different picture, you want to change your text, you want, a different link or something like that, use that little selector tool. You go over there, you click on what you want. So right now the agent knows, it has context that we're talking about this piece of the website right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I had no clue you could do that.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to guess. Like you don't have to say, hey, make the hero image more vibey or whatever. You can just use this little button. You select what you want to change and it goes and it does that for you. So we're just going to wait. It's going to enhance the hero image for us. And we're going to roll with whatever it comes up with. I'm going to open up X real quick while we're waiting on that. And I don't know, just kind of curious if anyone's on here making comments and stuff like that. We have a lot of viewers, 900, but not a lot of comments or questions at the moment. If anyone has a question for me, for young Neff, for Rosa, feel free to shout it out and we can try to help you solve it. Okay, so back to Replit. All right. That's kind of cool. Like it used some different elements around the image, which I like. It didn't really make the image a lot more,
like younger.
I don't know, younger looking. What do you think? As one of the target users, what do you think of that?
Okay, I like the colors and everything, but yeah, the image probably could be, I would think, a little bit better. Maybe try like a college classroom setting or something.
Okay. Make this of some college kids in a classroom.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is to do vibe coding. Make this. What's up, Crypto Jedi? We are teaching young Neff how to vibe.
Currently creating an app.
Yeah, we're teaching young Neff what vibe coding is, and we're going through it live with really no preparation, and we're just seeing what we can come up with. This is pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's I like that.
It's also a little bit like aspirational in a way, like
graduating,
which is kind of cool. Yeah, graduating. All right, so I'm just going to open up the preview again. Here it is. Find projects to work on. So like I said, it's not just, working on like this initial page. It actually went and created all the functionality that we need. Now you have to go and test this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't just go and publish this right off the bat, because there's probably going to be some errors and things like that. So it does require a little bit of testing, which, isn't too difficult to do. You can do it yourself. Another good way to do testing with vibe coded projects is, go and get someone from your target audience, your target customer, to sit with you like this, and just show them what you're building and say, hey, like, let's walk through this together. It'll be fun. And we'll use some AI tools to iterate on it and improve it. And or use your feedback, live to kind of do that. I think that that's kind of an interesting hook here for, like, I don't know, building products with these types of tools versus like the traditional route. Is this stuff's fun to watch and it's cool to see, people are interested.
Cool to, whenever like building and stuff, I think it's like anticipating.
Yeah. So this is an area that you'll be able to search for projects. You can sort them. It's got all this like functionality that are already built, which is really cool. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Know how it works page yet. So we got browse gigs for students. So we've got a couple of pages, a couple errors, a couple of pages that it didn't link up to, I think, these buttons. So let's just say check the routes in the header to ensure we can navigate to the pages linked. So simple vibe debugging thing here. I actually often see that this like routing error pops up sometimes when you have links on a site. So if you click something and it doesn't work, sometimes it's some kind of like routing error. I'm not really sure what that means, but you can see that maybe it agrees. Looking at the nav bar, I notice there's some links that need to be checked against our available routes in the app to make sure we can navigate properly. So here we go. There's a mismatch between the links and the routes in our application. So again, it's going to go and proactively solve that for us. We don't have to know what any of that is. I really don't know exactly what it is. I just have a general idea.
You have some questions, James.
Okay, cool. Best way to break out of death loop. This is a good question. We kind of got into that death loop there. It was trying to do a bunch of things with the database or whatever. Those may not be fixed yet, to be clear. So what I did, I paused the agent and I said, hey, let's take a step back and let's simplify. I actually don't need all this advanced functionality. So what happens is sometimes when you're vibe coding, the agent will just go wild. It'll start doing a bunch of complicated things. If you're trying to get an MVP out of the door, which is like a very minimal version of your first app or product, just constantly telling it to simplify is pretty valuable. There's also a feature where you can roll back. So do you see where it says roll back here on this part, Carson?
Yeah.
So let's say that you said, hey, make this feature and it screws up your entire build. You can just click roll back and it's like a checkpoint in a video game. It'll just like respawn you there.
Right there. So like cut off everything that's done till then. And then
it'll just kind of roll. It'll go in reverse, go backwards before you like screwed it up. So you can always roll back. You can always tell it to simplify. Again, these tools have a tendency to overcomplicate. Some other things I did with Replit. Maybe we could click into that. Do you want to see some other things that I've built with Replit, Carson?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. So I'll actually show you something that I pushed live to production. So I built this whole website on Replit right here. So what it is a resource hub where people can go and get ideas for what kind of workflows to build for their vibe marketing. Those crazy workflows that I've been showing you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I want to do is, in order for them to get access to these workflows, I want to collect their email address so I can sell to them and stuff like that. So we call that a lead magnet.
Yeah.
All right. There's a little lesson for you. Yeah, exactly. So, you built your audience or whatever. Not often are people just going to are you going to throw something out there and someone's going to click on it and they're going to go pull out their credit card and buy it right away. We buy from people we trust. And if you think back to Cialdini's principles of influence, there's a principle called reciprocity. And the idea of lead magnets is all built around reciprocity. So what that means is that if I give you something of value, you're going to have this inherent obligation to give me value in return.
Yeah.
You know, like if someone does you a favor, you're way more likely to do them a favor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we need to think about lead magnets, because your audience can be kind of broad and stuff like that. They maybe read your stuff, but like getting their email is a great opportunity for you to just like load up more value, show them what you're all about, and adding value to people is, I don't know, probably the best marketing strategy in the world. Like I learned that from Greg. Met this guy named Riley Brown in San Francisco last week, and he talks about marketing is just about like adding value, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Riley's becoming a vibe marketer. I'm just kidding, Riley, joking. But yeah, you basically I link this up to Beehive, which is my email program that I send all my emails from.
Yeah.
And when you tell Replit that hey, I want to have a form linked up to Beehive so that when people enter their email on my website, it goes into Beehive, and then that way I can send them newsletters, I can send them more information, whatever, and who knows, I could hopefully get them to like join our community and pay, or buy a product that I might have coming soon or something like that. But this is crazy, like it built out all these pages. It's got some really good calls to action and stuff. And when it comes to building these resource hubs, another cool thing that you can do is you can use something like Manus, which is like a super smart AI agent. I use it all the time to say, hey, like build out these resources for me. And then all you have to do is go in and kind of check them, make sure the work's good and stuff like that. They're not going to be perfect, but like getting started and using the tools and getting things out there, progress is way more valuable than perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people get caught up with like, hey, I need to have the perfect thing. Well, guess what? Like I'm improving this stuff, but this website right here has generated thousands of subscribers to our email list. And this website alone, in terms of new memberships to the community, has probably generated around $15,000 so far. And I built it in about an hour on Replit.
It's amazing.
That's a pretty good hourly return on your time. Leverage. It's all about leverage. If you can find how to get leverage through these tools, the world is your oyster. See, hey, look at this. We're adding value.
I know. That's what I was waiting
for. Cool. Crypto Jedi, awesome to have you. I hope that we can like exceed all your expectations and help you along your Vibe marketing journey. So thank you for trusting us, and we'll see you on the inside of the community. Okay, so yeah, and then I built another cool thing here with Replit. I built this quiz. So quizzes are a great lead magnet because it makes the value that you're giving to people feel personalized.
Yeah.
Specific to their use case. So, I'm trying to take the onus away from the visitor on discovering whatever template that might be right for them. I'm doing the job for them. So you can go through here, click around and see how this works. But after you do that, it's going to recommend the right template for you. And then, you feel that's customized and personalized, and the conversion that I'm going to get on people visiting the site to go through the quiz, it's a lot higher because, again, I'm helping to solve their specific problem. Make sense? Cool. Okay, so that's one thing I built on Replit. Let's go here. Maybe I'll show you something a little bit more advanced. So last week, I built this. I was in a, I guess you can call it a studio, but I was in a studio with watching Greg Eisenberg film some podcast episodes, and he was talking about like AI arbitrage or something like that, which is kind of what we're talking about here, using AI to arbitrage business opportunities. And I said, all right, I'm going to build a way to do this. So I created this tweet, and it was like, hey, go to Fiverr, find people looking for keyword research projects, which is like a common marketing thing. And I made an app that can handle the manual work of doing that while I was listening to Greg do the podcast.
Yeah.
And this works with real data and helps us do keyword research. So if we wanted to find the keywords for our Vibeverr, for example, you would come here, you would say AI. Here, let's open this up. You would say, so just real quick over here, you can see I'm connected to this thing called Data for SEO API.
Yeah.
That's going to go and use this tool called Data for SEO. It's going to find these keywords for us, and it's going to pass them back into our application. So if I just wanted to say like college freelance or something like that, it will go and find us keywords around that topic. And then what we could do is kind of go through there, find what keywords make sense for us. Let's see if it finds one, and then I'll kind of show you how I would then utilize that keyword on our Vibeverr website. Actually, so maybe some little Vibe marketing here that we can show people. So it's accessing this tool in the background, kind of looking for what keywords it has based around college freelance. All right. So it might take a minute. We'll see what happens. Yes, built on Replit. All right, check that out. Now, I'd have to go through these and maybe sort of like, edit and go back and experiment to make sure they're super relevant. These actually are real keywords. This is wrong right here, but excuse me. I don't know, like, let's just say like influencer marketing consultant, like a lot of college kids know about influencer marketing. Let's just say like, let's go back to our Vibeverr tool. And we can just say like, build a landing page on the site optimized for the keyword influencer marketing consultant. Ensure SEO best practices. All right, so just showing you how like you can find a keyword, you can find some demand, and then maybe you can just quickly implement a new page on your site that's optimized around that. So, hopefully you can work on that page, you can do a bunch of things to it, but then when someone searches like influencer marketing consultant, your page shows up in the results, whether that's Google, whether that's, I don't know, maybe you're using ChatGPT to search at this point. Do you still use Google, or do you use ChatGPT to find stuff?
Well, at this point, yeah, it's mostly just hop on ChatGPT. It's not even.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not even. I don't even really. Yeah, use. I mean, not to like look anything up. Yeah, everything is mostly AI, ChatGPT.
Do you use TikTok as kind of like a search engine as well?
Okay,
You do a lot of search on
it depends. There's like a lot of good stuff on TikTok. You can find like good like music playlist or like stuff like that. There's like a lot of stuff that like people my age, that's what they'll like search up, like summer playlists. Yeah. Like people will post like cool like summer Spotify playlist stuff on TikTok and like stuff like that. Yeah.
So I think that's just a good insight to give people when it comes to like vibe marketing as well, is that the way people are finding things and discovering things isn't just on Google anymore, obviously.
No.
People are searching on TikTok, they're using ChatGPT, they're searching on Instagram. So, and also like, I don't know, you probably don't read a lot of like blog posts or whatever. Like when you search for something, like you're probably watching videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, I'm not saying that you need to go and find a keyword and then create a bunch of blog posts as your strategy. What I am saying is going and finding the keyword and finding the demand, a blog post is one way to try to go and attack that. Now, when I create a blog post, I just think of it as I've got a blueprint, and now I can create a video script from that. I can create, all kinds of other things that I might want to go and publish on the internet. So we've got our page around influencer marketing consultant. Maybe then I go back into ChatGPT and I say, hey, give me a 30-second video script around why a business should hire a Gen Z or college influencer marketing consultant instead of your traditional expensive agency or something like that. So I'm tapping into the search trend. I've got a unique angle or hook to it. And then if someone likes the video, they may come to the site and hire someone like you to do the work instead of, a boring agency in their hometown or whatever.
Boring marketer.
Yeah. All right. So let's try to find where this page is. Place a link to this page under the 4 companies header link in a drop down. Okay, so I want to be able to navigate to this page. So up here, I'm going to have it make a drop down, and when someone hovers over for companies, it'll show the different use cases. So it'll say influencer marketing consultant or something like that. So someone will be able to find that specific use case that they're looking for.
That's sick.
So let's see if it works for us. All right, cool. So now we should be able to find this SEO optimized page. And what I would do is I would probably go and find 10 or 20 keywords. I'd probably select the 5 to 10 highest potential ones, and I would build pages on my website for each one of those types of things or jobs.
Put it into the app and let it do it.
Yeah. And then that way, when Google crawls the website and stuff, if I do some work, then I'll show up. So connect with the expert influencer marketing consultant. So this is a landing page. Okay. This is a specific page on our site that's geared toward a specific benefit or use case that we have. And this is tied to search traffic. So people are looking for this. We want this page to show up on results. So, we don't have to spend a bunch of money to get people to come to it. And hopefully they find it organically and they come here and they hire a consultant. So let's just look at the page and see how it did. Like the vibe, think it's pretty good. It kind of educates. This is good. So results and case studies, very powerful for conversion. Process, FAQs, this is another important thing. So a lot of times people are searching for things like this. How do you measure influencer marketing ROI? So this is geared toward also showing up for that term.
That makes it a whole lot easier too. There's can't remember what app it is, but there's an app I use, and they have frequently asked questions, and that helps a lot whenever I have a problem. Not having to go to a whole support call, and it's I think it's through AI too. I think it's the AI chatbot.
Yep. Cool. So that's how to vibe in a nutshell. What do you think of all this? What's your impression? Just seeing the thing for the first time.
It's definitely mind blowing to know that it can literally make a full function. Well, obviously not full function. You have to test stuff, but good over 60% of an app, 80% of an app done. And what was it, an hour?
An hour, yeah. And we were chatting.
We were on a lot of apps. Not even that. Probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes, what it takes.
Yep. Cool. Well, I think we accomplished the goal, which was to give you kind of an intro and show you what all this stuff is about.
Yeah.
We can go a lot deeper and stuff, but I just wanted to show it to you and expose you to this type of thing, and hopefully get your wheels turning a little bit.
No, this was definitely really cool. True.
Awesome. All right. Why do you use Replit? I like Replit. Bolt's a great product. There's a lot of really good products. Oh, sorry, Crypto Jedi. A lot of great vibe coding products out there. Bolt's awesome. Was hanging out with the Bolt team last week a little bit, but yeah, I just default to Replit. I guess I've used Bolt. I like it. I've used Lovable. I've used all these tools, and just think that Replit gives me a good quality output, and I feel comfortable with it at this point. All right. All right, man. That's it. Any big plans for the weekend?
No. Nothing crazy.
Maybe some just hanging with the family, doing some gaming.
Hanging with the fam. Yeah. That'd be
All
a
right,
lot.
cool. All right. Well, I'll chat with you on text or whatever. And thanks for joining, young Neff.
No problem. Had a great time.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See you guys.